Okay. Laura, did you get the gentleman's name?
I got it, thank you.
Hi, Ruth Sample, Lee. So I was also disappointed with your response, although I do appreciate that you put it on the agenda. I'm glad to hear that you're thinking about doing a code of ethics. I think that's a great idea. I think we should have standards that are at least as high as those of Rite Aid, which we currently do not have. The other thing I would say is that right now, no one on the board seems to feel that they have the authority to make a motion to censure someone on the board, which I don't think is actually correct. I think you do have that power. You're just choosing not to exercise it, which is your right, but everyone can now see that you have just chosen to say nothing about this. When you do formulate your code of ethics, you need to keep in mind that if you're not willing to take a stand now, what are you going to do once your code of ethics is formulated? If you have no actual power to enforce your code of ethics, then exactly what is it for? I mean, what does a person have to do to get censured? If calling the head of the EPA a stupid bitch, if calling a bunch of women fat and ugly because you don't agree with what they're saying is not worthy of a censure or a reprimand, I'm not really sure what is. I mean, what does a guy have to do to get reprimanded on this school board? I guess we're going to find out sooner or later, but I do wish you'd take it a little more seriously and think about the fact that you really can make any kind of motion that you like on this matter and take a stand. People are watching and hoping that you'll say, for crying out loud, this is disgusting. And it's not just the fact that they were said, it's the fact that we have a board member who thinks that, for example, that if a business discriminates and makes a profit, so be it. That is in violation of our board standards, the standards of non-discrimination. And now if you think it's okay to discriminate, say it. Let us all know. Go on record, and that way we'll know what to do in March. And also, we're your neighbors. We want to know that we're not surrounded by a bunch of bigots and that our school board isn't filled with bigots. Take a stand. It's not that hard. This really isn't Mississippi burning. It's just a bigoted member of the school board, and you can say something about it. That's all.
Thank you.
No, please don't.
No.
One more.
Nancy Catch Madberry, and I am highly offended that anybody in this audience who has chosen not to have the respectful discourse with Jim that she says she teaches her students that it's important to have. I'm really offended by that. I'm also offended that they would bring to this board for your consideration a petition that has one particular entry, and it's signed by Get a Life. And that person writes, doesn't, and I forget exactly the wording, but it's, don't these people have anything, and it refers to a woman, doesn't this woman have anything better to do than look through internet postings, something like that, of a board member? And they write creepy, C-R-E-E-E-E-P-Y. So that is brought to you people for consideration. You can go through the petition. I forget which number it is, but the person who wrote it is Get a Life. I'm wondering where the outcry has been for UNH professors that have been accused, and in a brief that I read today on the internet, this one particular professor verbally abused in quite profane language a member of his own department. Where's the outcry? He verbally abused very profane language. You can see it on the internet. Where's the outcry with that? This same person is inciting your students of Oyster River. Find out where they live and go to their homes. Where is the outcry on that? Jim's tweets were not directed to any person in this district. And yet these people, yes, you, Mrs. Sample, Dr. Sample, Ruth Sample, whatever. You have offended me, and I think you have offended a lot of people in this district. You don't see all the emails that we get. You don't see the phone calls that we get that have a lot to say about your judgment. Thank you.
Krista Butts, Lee.
You're on that side of the mic because you're there as
I am a person that lives in this district,
That's
a
correct.
voting member of
not representing
Lee.
the board.
No.
Okay.
I, as a citizen of Lee, do not agree with what Mr. Hatch has tweeted. Although I support the district, I support our board, and I would like to see our district move forward in matters of educating our children.
Thank you. Okay. Moving on to the closing actions, agenda planning. Is there things that you want to add to future agendas? Yes, Megan.
I had two things that one was a sort of a question, but let me start with probably easier of the two. Recently I had a community member contact me about a safety issue related to skateboarding on our school property, and I've contacted Todd Allen about this issue, and I would like to see that we can have a report from Todd and Jay Richard about skateboard safety at our schools and any actions that they are going to take or may consider taking related to this. And I was hoping that could be added to a September or October meeting as a report. And then the other thing I wanted to ask is, we have money set aside in our budget, $15,000 for, well, I think Krista was going to look up what it was for, the mistrust.
Oh, yeah.
And
all my free time. That's what
I wanted to
said.
see if it would be, do we want to start looking into how we want to spend that money? I could contact an organization and I know of called the Great School Partnership and see if we wanted to have them come and talk to us and maybe draft a proposal.
I don't want that group, but I think we do need to look into that, if we could put that on the agenda.
Okay.
That's all
That's
I
it.
had.
What's the
Okay.
topic again? I'm sorry, what?
Spending the $15,000
For-
board funds.
On what?
There was $15,000 as added to
Community
the.
relations and, right.
Yeah.
I'm going to get the exact wording for
I mean,
the
we
motion.
don't have to spend it.
No.
I
No, we
guess.
don't have
That's
to
another
spend
We
option.
can
I mean,
spend it
there's
any
lots of
which way we
options.
want.
Right, we can spend it.
There's $15,000 added to the budget at the deliberative session, and the person who made that recommendation also added a caveat that he hoped that we would spend it in a certain way. The minutes, I'm sure, reflect that, and I will get the exact wording on that.
We'll put that as an item.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else? Ann?
No, we have the long-range planning
No.
committee. and-
Yeah, we have long range. Good. Thank you.
Then you have the superintendent search on 9/19.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
Superintendent search into
Right.
the
Oh, and what about
firms.
the district initiatives? That was taken off the, that was taken off last month, wasn't it? Or Danielle's,
Yeah, it was taken up
Updated
on
this-
July 20th.
updated district initiatives. Pardon?
District initiative was talked about on.
No, it wasn't though.
No, I know, I wasn't here, but you probably took it off at that time.
Yeah, remember she took it off because I can't recall why exactly at this point. I'm tired.
District initiative?
Okay, we can check into that. on-
Updated district.
That was
initiative.
Danielle?
Every year we have
You-
an
You mean
updated.
those are the administrative goals?
Mhm.
Okay, we just did those a couple days ago, and you'll have a report later.
Okay.
So should that be on the schedule in September, do you think?
There, I believe, yes, I don't know exactly when, but it will be forthcoming.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, let me check my list. You talked earlier about an administrative salary study. Anybody recall that?
What is it?
Yeah, well, it's administrative salary study, and I think that was to prepare us for the budget, because that's
Well, I
a
thought we
section.
wanted to do that because we had heard that our administrator salaries were low, and we'd heard that from NASDAQ, I think, and from Howard, and we wanted to just sort of get a baseline salary for that.
I mean, how many things we got going here?
Well, I think this is part of budget. I think
Okay,
this is
we
part
can
of
do that
budget.
during the budget deliberations,
Yeah.
but I mean, I just feel like we're getting
I
on
agree.
overload for all of us here.
Yeah.
And, when I'm looking at all the administrative goals and everything else, it's just so much here,
I'm not telling you
Okay.
what to do.
right?
You kind of are, yeah. With us. Okay, so we'll wrap that into anything that does with the budget then. Okay, the regular dates that we have, future dates, let me get the right page. We have September 7th and also September 21st for regular meetings. Are we anticipating any special meetings?
We set 9/19 for
For the
superintendent
superintendent.
search interviews for the firms.
At 9/19 to be a special meeting.
Where's that going to be located?
It'll be here?
In this one?
Yes.
May I ask a question, Lee? Your meetings at the different schools, your community
Yes.
forum meetings, are those dates and is that all posted on our
It's all
website?
posted on the website.
Okay, 'cause I couldn't find it. Must
It's
be
under
recent?
superintendent's corner.
Laura,
Okay.
can you check to
Okay.
see if you're available on the 19th?
It's at 5:30?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
If not, I can.
No, I can do it. I can switch it around.
Okay, so the special meeting on the 19th will be at 5:30 start time.
5:30.
Thank you. Any other special meetings, potential or anything that we want to talk about? No, then I respectfully say we should adjourn, so a vote for adjournment.
Make a motion?
Second.
Yes, second. All those in favor of adjournment? Thank you.
Yeah.
The meeting is closed.
Adjourned.